Live on Florida Home Deals Radio Show, your weekly real estate tip with host Myra Eagle of eXp Realty and special guest David Young of Cardinal Financial.
Messaging me again. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. And look who's here, David.
What's up, everybody?
David lost his voice, so we're going to make this short today. We just want to, David, I got a question from a viewer this week. How do they get out of paying the landlord's mortgage and paying all that rent on a monthly basis if they don't have any money for a down payment or for all the closing cost fees?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that's probably the number one thing we're bumping up against right now, as a lot of people are asking us, where can we get the down payment from? So a couple of strategies that we've used is first strategy is the sellers can actually pay for all the closing costs, prepaids, taxes, and insurance. Now, the amateur realtors out there are going to be like, well, we can't get that. It's a seller's market. And the answer is no kidding, but we can still get that. But
yes,
what we want to do is we want to, let's say the house that you're purchasing is $300,000, right? What you do is you get the offer accepted for, 300, or you're in a bidding war, so maybe 305 or 310, right? Then we go back later and we make an amendment to the contract, and it just asks for seller concessions. So let's say closing costs, prepaids, taxes, and insurance come out to be like 10 grand, right? And I'm just throwing out an estimated number, right? Depending on your situation, could be higher or lower. But what we do is, let's say you're under contract for 305, we change it to 315, and then the seller gives you back that 10 grand. So basically, it's almost like rolling the closing costs into the purchase of your home. And appraisals are coming back fine. So in the past, we used to have to worry about appraisals when we're doing that. But the market's been going like this. So all the appraisers, they know what we're doing. They know it's worth 10 grand more, or it will be in a month, right? So they're just like, you're putting in 10 grand seller concessions, not a big deal. This house is going to be worth 50 grand more in 6 months. So they give it to us, right? So it's it's really easy to get the sellers to pay for that. So you can check off closing costs, prepaids, taxes, and insurance, right? Right off the bat, done deal, right? That solves that issue. So then step 2 is down payment, right? Now there's a few different routes we can go with down payment. So the first route is double check the programs that you qualify for. Do you get a lot of USDA in your area, Myra?
Yeah, it's starting to pick up. USDA is 0 down payment along with VA mortgages.
Yep. USDA, VA loans, some special programs are 100% financing right off the bat, right? And, the USDA used to be just for agricultural loans. You don't have to buy a farm with the USDA. In fact, most people use it to buy a single family residence. So that's a common misconception, right? Another misconception is if you're a veteran, a lot of people say, well, I've already used my VA loan. Well, you can keep reusing your VA loan. Call us for details, right? So if you're a veteran, you don't put down any down payment funds, right? You can literally buy a house for nothing out of pocket, right? Maybe $500 for the appraisal that could get refunded to you after closing, right? So, as a veteran, or even as a USDA person, you might not have any money out of pocket. You might pay for an appraisal up front, but then that's covered with seller concessions at closing, right? So that's 2 very easy routes to go.
Yes.
Right? A less than easy route to go are down payment assistance programs, right? Everybody calls about that. And to clarify, because we had a call in yesterday, somebody's buying an investment property, or they're buying, they're looking at some commercial stuff, they want a DPA program, down payment assistance. It's only for primary residents. You have to meet a certain income bracket. Sometimes there's certain class restrictions or geographical restrictions with that. Those are a little bit harder to qualify for, right? So, but something to consider for sure. Another route that people end up going is, if you're a first-time home buyer, there's a lot of conventional, not wonky programs, conventional programs that are only $3 grand down. or 3% down, right? So that's only $3,000 if it's $100,000, $6,000 if it's 200, or $9,000 if it's 300.
Wow, that's
right?
good.
That's really good, right?
That's good.
So if you've got, if you can save up a paycheck or two, you can buy a house. I mean, it's literally that simple. Or tax return comes back, or, sell that extra car that you're not driving anyways. Sell those baseball cards that are just collecting dust in the attic. We did a whole training class on how to sell off stuff you don't use. Utilize that income for stuff that you can use.
Right. Yeah.
It's shocking how many people had a garage sale after that class, and they had enough money for their down payment. They never thought it could be possible, right?
Wow, pretty cool.
Right, and that's just kind of a fun way. And then some less than obvious routes are, if we go with a W loan that allows for a gift, you can get a gift from a blood relative, like, great Aunt Sally that's been wanting to help you out all this time, right? You can get, a gift from Uncle Bob. You can even get one from, like, your local church. And so a lot of churches are offering things to help people get into homes, and, there's some missions for that too. And so, if you don't go to church, don't, walk up to a random church, knock on the door and be like, give me your money. You know what I'm saying? Like, probably, if you're attending church for a while, you're a member, and they've got, I forget the term that they use for it, but we've used it recently. It actually helped a widowed lady purchase a home, right? They had a term for it, and I forget what the name of it is, right? But so she's, she lost her husband. She's been a member of a church for a long time. She couldn't afford to get into this house on her own, and so we were able to get her in with the Govy program, and the church gifted her the down payment funds needed. The sellers paid for the closing costs, and she was literally no money out of pocket. $500 for the appraisal, but it got refunded to her later. Super duper happy. She's so ecstatic that she's able to buy a house at a later stage in life, right? So no matter if you're 20 or 120, buy a house. Why rent, right? So
hello, you can buy more of a home today than what you're renting and pay less monthly because of the rates. That's really good. I have another suggestion I love to use. People don't realize this, but if they have a life insurance program with their job, or they have a life insurance policy, depending on the term on the life insurance policy, you can probably loan off the beneficiary amount without any application fees, any interest, or any required payback amounts.
Yeah.
If your life insurance policy has that available for you.
And I was just doing a quick calculation because, rates are down right now. So on a $100,000 loan, the principal and interest, I'm not going to calculate taxes, insurance, mortgage, all this stuff, right? But let's say a $100,000 home, right? You put down 3%, so that's $97,000, right? The payment on that is $402. So for every $100,000, yeah. So a $200,000 house would be $800 a month, right? A $300,000 house is $1,200 a month. You can't rent a decent place for $1,200 a month anymore, it seems like, right? I mean, it's like, dang, do you want an apartment for $1,200 a month, or, a $300,000 house?
Yep.
Is that crazy?
Rents in this area are at $1,500 to $1,800 a month.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind that doesn't include taxes and insurance, and we want to run those numbers. So, call Myra for those numbers, right? But, I mean, think about it. You could get a $200,000 house for, around $800 full interest, right? Because, the 30-year fix is like 2.875 right now. It's like a 3.1 APR. It's really low. right? It's crazy, and it's dropping a little bit this week. You call next week, it might be a different story because the rates are like all over the place, right?
Roller coaster.
You call in an hour, it might be a different story. Heck, rates dropped another 23 basis points this morning. So
wow.
I would love to see the 2.5%, the 2.25%, 30-year fixed again, because you can imagine if you're buying a $200,000 house for $800 a month, like you could
the money you're gonna save.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be really, really, really good. Any new suggestions?
For what?
Gifting, family gift. We did that. I think that's about it for how they can buy a home with no money in their pocket, no closing costs, no funds for down payment. We gave you the ideas, everybody. Give us a call. Get out there and start looking for a home to buy.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Have a great weekend. If you got any questions, call Myra. She's your gal.
All right. Thank you so much, Dave. Take care of yourself.
Thanks.
Get some hot tea on